again, cementing them as the best team in Pokemon Unite once again. But they have to get through Time to Shine right now as we head into our draft phase.
You could say Time to Shine is that Snorlax block. I mean, can you get past it? I don't know. It's quite a good block.
We're going to have to see if Luminosity has the Poke Flute and it can wake that thing up so they can move on from this group. Whoever wins this, once again, is going to be moving on to the top 8 tomorrow on our championship Saturday. We see the ban from Time to Shine, Blissey. Very, very targeted ban right here as Luminosity is banning out this Lapras. Lapras has just been insane today.
It has definitely been insane, not only tanking the damage, but dishing out the damage as well. Otherwise, it looks like Lunda has picked up the Inteleon for their first pick. We'll have to wait and see what LG end up choosing for these next 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, they've got a lot of great options, and boom, boom, back-to-back defenders right here. Umbreon and Slowbro, and now that Lapras is gone, Time to Shine is sort of, well, I wouldn't say scraping the bottom of the barrel, but definitely scraping the mid part of a tier list, looking for a defender right here, as they actually decide to lock in a supporter, Clefable, and possibly the big tree.
Oh, it is the big tree. Can it stand nice and tall against these other 2 defenders? Otherwise, we do have Venusaur being picked up once again by Overlord. Obviously, picking up that Petal Dance. I thought it was going to Venusaur, but no. Petal Dance out of nowhere. There we go.
You see, Overlord, he's not a guy who just needs to follow the trends. Oh, everyone's playing Venusaur, so I might as well also. No, he is ready to get in there, get his hands dirty, start doing some Petal Dancing and some Giga Draining. However, he could be moving over to the Venusaur build here in this match as we see Time to Shine here locking in a Gardevoir. First one we've seen on broadcast today, but not the first Espeon we've seen today. It has looked pretty good all day.
All right, hold up. 3 defenders? Oh my gosh, I think we need to pass it on over. I don't know, what do you think about this? 3 defenders, no supporters?
I'm gonna try to count it out right here. 1, 2. Yep, 3 of them right there. That is going to be a huge front line for Luminosity. We're going to see if there's anything Time to Shine can do about it right here as we get ready to head into our match. Again, this thing decides a lot. It's deciding who is moving on to our top 8 tomorrow. We're going to send this thing over to the incredible Zoinks and Wonder Chef to cast this game. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much, analysts. Wow, what a draft we are looking at for game number 1 of Wonder Chef. And may I remind everyone that whoever wins this game is headed into tomorrow's top 8 bracket. That is how important this game is.
That's right. They had to bring in the big boys for this, you know. Sprinkles, Doop, Snacks, they got their time, but it's our time here. And this is our first, I would say, not only technically, well, I wouldn't call it elimination match. It's whatever the opposite is. Our first qualifying match. There we go. That's the word we're looking for. Oh, we got everybody excited out there. Nakugashi, but that's the soft and fluffy. Those feel amazing, by the way. They were in the Poké Center. I'm so excited for this. I think this draft was also really interesting one to start off. We got a 3 special attacker comp versus a triple defender comp.
Yeah, it really seems like Time to Shine is leading into that front-to-back strategy. They see that gigantic front line of Luminosity Gaming. They are instead going to be trying to just deal that damage from the front line slowly but surely and cut through those huge HP bars.
All right, well, here we go. Time to Shine on the left, Luminosity on the right. Game number 1 of the set to decide who makes it to the finals bracket on day number 2. Overlord is going to be in that center area with the Bulbasaur. And now I actually didn't get a chance to see what the items were, but I'm interested if we are going to see the same build that we saw in that previous game of the last set, or if we might see a switch over to Venusaur. I'm sure there's a level of ability playing both.
I think at this strategy, you can't play Venusaur, especially when your only supporter is Umbreon with Wish. If that's your only source of healing, I think you need to go into that Giga Drain Petal Dance combination. Of course, rushing into the backline won't be an easy task. However, if you get in there, that Venusaur is going to have a big impact. Level 5 Overlord coming up for this first round of Altaria Swablues, as this clear was actually exceptionally quick for the Venusaur.
That's right, yeah. There's actually a little bit of a rotation down, actually. Kind of going for the, I'm going to show myself here and then maybe get the quick rotation. So we'll see if they're actually ready for that. We are splitting now both the center area Pokemon going to different paths, and they are going to be trying to confirm that. Ooh, yeah, there was a little bit of EXP gained on the side of Time to Shine. We saw the evolution, but oh no, not able to escape the triple stack down here. And yeah, look at this, just trying to get the berry, trying to stay up. And that was That was honestly a cool little maneuver.
Yeah, very, very solid play there from Luminosity Gaming, showing in one path and then rotating to the other. And of course, I think the most important effect of that is Gecko Kami is not at level 5. Stuck on that level 4, a very important spot right there.
Oh, trying to get the pick here on the Espeon. It looked like that was going to be it. That was actually a really smart choice to not overcommit right there, as that would have been a very easy turnaround. But then in the end, they might be able to escape. Rin with the great manual dodge there on the side strike. But oh no, that was actually a pretty, I'm sorry, side strike. But that was a really scary situation for honestly both sides. It seemed like both were about to get one Pokemon picked, but you can tell just how good these teams are at being able to know exactly their limits without overextending.
And Luminosity has to in this competition, right? Again, the support play is just not going to be there. You are going all in on this defender tanky strategy, and healing just doesn't exist. So if you go too far, then Time to Shine is just going to bounce back and win a team fight in the other direction. Of course, they can rely on Ware's incredible healing play with the Clefable to outlast some of these team fights. Rin almost getting one stack in, but they need to bail again on such low HP.
Oh, trying to get just little bits of damage here and there. They've been a really surprising. It is being, yeah, wow, okay. So, again, showing that level of flexibility that we know from Overlord, not only able to flex different Pokemon, but being able to flex different builds within that Pokemon. So, I mean, hey, you got to expect something like that from what is considered maybe the best player in the world, or at least up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the best players in the world, can we talk about Elo's support play a little bit? Yes. Playing this Umbreon in this Wish build that we haven't seen too much on broadcast as of yet. However, that effect, of course, is some great healing, but do not forget about the damage reduction that you have on basically a 5-second cooldown. Time to Shine with some early presence, getting a defensive area around this Regirock with only Slash here to provide vision on the objective.
Oh no, there's a chance for a steal here, but they're not going to be able to get it. And this is a little bit of a late engage on the side of Luminosity. It looks like, again, neither team taking the advantage there to try and start a fight. This has been such a safe game. They are just fighting for all of that neutral EXP. Nobody overextending. I feel like this is one of the lowest KO games this far into the game that we've seen all day.
We're watching an LG game. We're watching an LG game, and this is what we are looking at so far. Kind of crazy. Overlord has hit 9, though, so the experience race definitely looking pretty good for them. Where is pushed back by that foul play. However, they are able to escape it. Curious with a big engage. Going to go down to that Electro Ball, and finally LG is on the KO board.
All right, at least there. I mean, I think they did get at least that one earlier where they took down the Trevenant, but oh no, the turnaround as well. It's going to be Umbreon going down, but there's just so much damage on both sides. You cannot even stand on your own base, or you are in trouble here. The range damage can be significant. I mean, this is just damage versus such a tanky team. So honestly, even if they don't do that much damage, they're doing a lot of damage based on the Time to Shine comp.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all about these interesting one-on-one matchups. Amnesia makes Slash able to outlive that side shot. Regirock about down to half HP. Big Espeon on the way off to bring everybody up in the air. Clefable's close combat does not land on anyone, and now Regirock is going to become the main objective focus. Venusaur grabs it with the Solar Beam, and it's going to be headed towards that tier number 1.
It looks like they didn't mind letting that go as much. There was the opportunity to steal, like maybe with the Gardevoir pushing up, but they would rather just not take that risk. Ooh, a big Unite there from the Umbreon, but that's going to go in. This would be a strange time to try and counter-engage. They've got some damage, but they've actually got the Trevenant coming from the back. Even I didn't see that. That's going to be a little bit of insulation from this Umbreon, but I don't think it's going to be able to pick off anybody before it goes down. So that was, in fact, a great counter-engage. Gek coming in from the sneakiest spot possible. It's going to be 5 points down in the bottom tier 2 as well. Not going to be that big of a deal, but we are going to start getting to these objective spots.
Aggressive little play there by Curios, wanting to outplay Gex with just a check button directly into the tall grass, as making that their option. Rin with a great split push to get yet another stack on those special attack specs. Blastoise with those numbers is going to be doing absurd amount of damage with that Unite move in conjunction in these final fights. It's going to be very important. Now, we talked about that last team fight where they were able to score a little bit thanks to that Regirock. They did get a few knockouts. Time to Shine got a few knockouts into LG. However, I think score is going to be so important in this game so far. It's been a very slow scoring game. As I say that, Time to Shine reigns in some points over the top half, but a great little defense there by Elo in what I think is going to be a very important numbers game.
Right, I agree. I think 200 is kind of the level you need, but there we go. We're going to get the Unite from behind. Overlord coming in, trying to clean up at least one more. We're getting beamed. Not going to quite be enough, especially with that healing, but that's more than enough to at least prevent Time to Shine from scoring in that tier 1. Both tier 1 still up, which is good for them. There is the opportunity for a pretty good level of overdunk. However, they don't have the opportunity. We're 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The levels are not too far apart, but like you mentioned, the score, 150 scoreline difference is big. 200 is that point where you really kind of almost have to win Ray or have a super huge team wipe regardless. So you're essentially winning the Ray fight. So they are starting to just about get there, where even backcaps won't mean anything.
And look at this incredible support play from Elo and Slash. The Umbreon and Slowbro are pushed up so far in their individual paths just for vision. They're giving so much information over towards the rest of the team of LG, and Time to Shine is kind of held in place, not able to push too far forward while being unseen. So good rotation there by Luminosity. We're getting a bit of an engage. A Surf Knock scores two, and Elo tries to grab another, and a great Solar Beam from Overlord to capitalize on another one. Big knockout there.
Ooh, and some extra damage in. Now, that is going to be big because that's building enough space to secure this Regieleki. They are burning it pretty quick, though, so assuming they don't delay it a little bit longer, this should be able to be dealt with before this final 2-minute mark. It's just going to be whether they're going to let it in, whether they're going to take the time to try to burn it down. It looks like there might be some priority going down to this basement Regi.
Yeah, I was going to say, but timing is so important with this, right? If Time to Shine dedicates any resources to stopping the Regieleki, it means they don't have all hands on deck for this basement Regi fight. Slash able to outlast a lot of that damage, but they go down to the side shock. Great little play there from Shelvin to find that knockout, but they hit brought down so low, and Elo finds that knockout. Registeel is now as good as Luminosity Gaming's. They're going to be headed into the final stretch with a huge attack buff.
Oh yeah, they're just gonna have enough time to take this out within the last 4 seconds. That is gigantic. I do like the fact that we saw Gek back up to make sure that it wasn't a double KO there, giving him even more of an advantage. But we gotta look, level is the highest level in the game is going to be that Inteleon. That is going to be Lunder. That is needs to be dealt with. Cannot just allow to be dealing damage from the back. And look at this, almost a little bit of a pick. Rin in an unfortunate spot, not gonna be fully taken down. In fact, moving forward again, a little bit of a risky choice. We've got 2 members as well of Luminosity up in these top tall grass.
As long as you don't go into that corridor, it's great positioning. As soon as you're there, you're being subject to a Trevenant or maybe even a Gardevoir Unite, but if you hold out, you get that information. Slash goes down though, big engage there by the Espeon and Trevenant together. Gek takes a lot of damage from the Solar Beam, but they're able to be pushed out. Rin tries to engage on 3 of them. Unite move knocks up 2. Overlord with a great capitalization from range. That Solar Beam combos along with a double Solar Beam. Overlord eject buttons, and again, LG is starting to cook.
Oh no, only Lunder left. Can't even get this last hit on Overlord. And at this point, they know, LG knows that they don't need to even take this Ray. They've got the ability for the back caps. They know that they can outmaneuver everybody who's up on Time to Shine left. There's less than 1 minute. I mean, Time to Shine maybe can try to get back in, try to get the Ray for this comeback. It's not looking super great. However, the score didn't actually increase at all for Luminosity. So this is going to be a re-engage, and already we're going to see Slowbro going down.
Yeah, Slash does go down there, and they had their Unite move as well. So no Slowbro Unite move on the other side. However, Elo does. They steal a lot of that Buddy Barrier shielding that Ware just created with their own Unite move. So great counter Unite to try to shut down that initial engage. Rin with a great surf to isolate 2 members of the team, and Curios tries to double up on that by splitting them with their own Unite, and they find the knockout onto Hawk.
Oh, and actually the Umbreon wasn't able to score because of the Gardevoir defense on the bottom tier 2. There are some potential big scores going in here, but no! Actually, Lunder taking out Curios. That is gigantic. This should be the 50 in the very last moments. I don't know if there's enough. They might need more down in the bottom tier 1, and I don't know if they were able to get it.
Time to Shine have certainly made this a little bit closer. We'll have to wait for that final scoreline to see the result as it climbs up and see how these teams react. But in the end, it is going to be Luminosity Gaming holding on to their lead.
Wow, yes, just barely actually. That was as close as it gets. If there was just even a little bit more going into that bottom tier 1, that could have been it. An extremely close game. There's a reason why both these teams are 1-0 in this so far.
Absolutely. Well, let's send it over to our analysts to break this game down. Spraggles and Callow, take it away.
Wow, what a nail biter, Kello. I mean, incredible stuff here. Obviously, Time to Shine behind a lot of that game. This looked like textbook Luminosity, but right there at the end, very, very close.
Oh, very, very close indeed. And considering they didn't even end up securing a Rayquaza to be able to shoot up right at the end and, you know, know what is going to happen is incredible. But obviously, Luminosity, they held their ground. They were able to win that match.
Yeah, Luminosity looking really, really solid there. Obviously, we saw some incredible moments in the end there from that Solar Venusaur. Obviously, Overlord can really play any type of Venusaur that they would like to. Taking a look at some of our damage numbers, 113,000 from Overlord. Pretty light performance from Overlord, I would have to say. But I mean, looking at it across the board, really nice stuff all over from Time to Shine. They just couldn't seem to crack through that tough exterior of Luminosity.
No, it was honestly at its breaking point right there, but they were just not able to get that final push.
Let's take a look at some of the big moments from game number 1 right here between these two teams. Again, Time to Shine, Luminosity. Luminosity, if they win one more of these, they are going to move forward to our top 8 tomorrow. Obviously, a lot of teams would expect Luminosity to make it to the top 8. Time to Shine still looking pretty good here in game number 1, and they could shut them down.
Look, it's all about being able to shine, right? They still have a chance to make a comeback, and we've seen a fair few round 3 situations, so whether they're going to be able to flip it around and we might end up getting another round 3. But you can obviously see that LG being able to lock down most of those objectives for that match and just put up the defenses.
Yeah, LG just looking incredible throughout this game. You could say it was their time to Luminosity. Dang it, screwed that up.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, it should have been Time to Shine, I think, actually. And yeah, just huge moments here. Obviously, this was the big fight, and you saw a massive moment here from the Solar Beam Venusaur, pushing them out. The Unite move from Blastoise, Unite move from Venusaur into a huge Solar Beam right here. Really started to seal it up for the side of Luminosity. Here we have Time to Shine pushing back in and then realizing there's really no time left. They have to make a score happen. We see the Mew peel up to that top path, but they were able to, even after getting KO'd, they were still able to keep their point lead right here. Luminosity up 1. Curios with the MVP on the Mew.
Look, it makes sense. You have that double beam secure there. It was insane just seeing them pivot around each other and get those snipe shots. It was spectacular. But obviously, having those double specs, you got to be able to see off in the distance, right?
Yeah, if you have 2 pairs of glasses, you either are seeing extremely well or something horrible is going on, and it looks like it's working out pretty well here for Luminosity as they move into game number 2. Obviously, they have this tanky front line, and then behind it, like you said, just this incredible volley of ranged attack, and it was really difficult for Time to Shine to do anything about it throughout most of the match.
Now, we've obviously mentioned it. There is a lot on the line for Time to Shine. They have to collaborate together. What are they going to do this next match?
Yeah. Everything comes down to this for Time to Shine. They need to win 2 in a row against Luminosity, the current world champions of Pokemon Unite. Obviously, Luminosity looking to shut this thing down, looking to prove that those games against S8UL earlier, they were just shaking off some of the cobwebs right here as we head into game number 2. They want to take this 2-0 and start prepping for tomorrow.
Look, this makes sense. Ban those defenders, Slowbro and Lapras, and I predict possibly Umbreon being picked up, but no Curios. He's gone for the Inteleon, and I must say, this is such an incredible Pokemon that we have seen shine today.
Yeah, Inteleon's been really amazing, and there are some moments where it absolutely is game-changing. It's been interesting to me to see so much of the snipe shot Inteleon, not because it's bad, but just because when you happen to miss one of these pivotal snipe shots, you go from a liquidation that would have done a lot of damage to a snipe shot that does 0 damage. So I'm interested to see what teams decide to do with this Pokemon that is, without question, a powerhouse, especially early with some of the best secure in the game.
Look, we are in the house of pro players here. Spraggles, all right. Yes, we might miss some shots, but I think a lot of the time they're going to end up getting them. But look at this. We have seen it. Comfey and Urshifu duo just running at you, cannot escape.
Yeah, it is very, very difficult to deal with. And yeah, you're right. We're in the house of pro players, and you miss 100% of the snipe shots you don't take. But at the same time, you hit liquidation every single time, no matter what. So, hey, I think if Wayne Gretzky knew he was going to hit every single shot, he'd say, what am I doing? I'm going to keep using that one.
I don't know, but look at this. We do have Overlord that has locked in that triple-headed bird. Definitely one of your favorites.
Absolutely.
And Slash has picked up that Trevenant.
Yeah, this is a really good draft here, it looks like, from Luminosity. We have some unusual picks on the side of Time to Shine, I would say. You know, Blastoise proving to be pretty popular in this tournament so far. Leafeon's had some ups and downs as well, but of course they got that Umbreon very, very early. This feels like a almost classic Luminosity setup, and we're gonna have to see what Time to Shine can do about it. We're gonna send this thing over to the Wonder Zoinks and the Zoinks chef to be casters. Boy, I didn't make that one work.
I'm pretty sure my name just got said twice, which I'll take, I suppose. I'm a big fan of that one. Wonder Chef, we have a very interesting draft, and I think Spraggle said it best. We are looking at a classic LG game right now.
We are. They got everything that they love. This is going to be definitely a great game for them, starting off like just as far as their feeling, you know, like how their just comfort is going to take them far in this one. But on the other side, it is a very interesting comp coming out of Time to Shine.
Yeah.
It's definitely very different than what they've been playing, not only just different Pokemon, but some different roles, kind of splitting around as well. Now, my big question is, are we going to see the mean look from the Umbreon to maybe try and counter a little bit of that Dodrio mobility, or is it going to be changing? I mean, there's honestly just so many options.
Yeah, it's really going to be interesting how Gek wants to play this specific matchup as well, because I think the Unite move is going to be one of the most pivotal ones. Of course, Umbreon stealing away shields. Rin on this Urshifu is going to love to create as many as they possibly can. Taking that one away is going to be huge. However, my questions around Time to Shine's composition are going to rely on the Blastoise and the Venusaur. These are two very late-game scaling Pokemon, and Luminosity has a extremely strong early-game composition. At the 7-minute point to maybe the 4-minute point, it is going to be tough sledding for Time to Shine to try to make their comp work.
Yeah, they've got a really weak early comp, and then a really strong power spike, as about as strong as you can get, and then everything changes from there. So these are going to be some very different phases of this game overall, I would say. Currently, nothing super big. It looks like we're just trying to get some stacks in. That's going to be very effective. Double stacks potentially in this path right now, as we're going to see this Squirtle really get bullied. You know, not really being able to defend all that much against this onslaught, and the ability to just so freely farm stacks here for Luminosity, I think that's also very much in their favor.
I mean, the early game is just looking so good for them already. I mean, they have Dodrio and Urshifu. We've only hit that 8:45-minute mark. We already are scaling so well. Bottom path going a little bit tougher, taking a bit longer for that one, and Time to Shine with a pretty intelligent push down there. However, Overlord Reason is going to try to join this team fight. Gets mean looked and actually can't chase down their initial target. They had a choice between two, and when you choose other than Umbreon, sometimes you get stuck.
Oh, that was an excellent eject, but not going to be able to fully chase down, I don't believe. But I mean, not in that exact moment. Of course, the fact that you're going all the way back towards the enemy home base, eventually you're going to get caught, but that was at least a really good way to delay a large amount of time, a large amount of EXP from that Inteleon, or not even Inteleon quite yet. And here we go. Oh, look at this. A little bit of a fight here. Slash just trying to get out of there. They actually don't try to confirm that. They say, hey, there's more than enough taking us.
Well, with just Razor Leaf available, it's not going to be too easy to get that knockout. They haven't quite hit that Solar Beam level, which again, this late game focus from Time to Shine is truly putting a lot of pressure on their team. Score-wise, though, they found some ways to make some early dunks happen, which is looking pretty good. I'm looking specifically at Shelvin on this Blastoise to have a big swing into the late game, and if they can get to that 9 quickly, they'll be in a lot better of a spot. Overlord goes in, gets out of there, and immediately tries to avoid the Solar Blade damage.
I do have to say, we haven't seen very many Solar Blades land. We've seen a lot of the charged versions rather than the full Glowform ones. Oh no, that is going to be already some huge picks right here. That is going to be everybody up on the top path going down. That is a huge lead. Look at these level differences. A level 10 already on this Dodrio, and the next highest on the other side is 7.
What do we say, Wonder Chef? Classic LG game right now. I mean, they are looking fantastic in these first steps of the game. Time to Shine hasn't really found a foothold whatsoever. First objective of the game could change that, though. They have a pretty decent secure with Venusaur and Leafeon Solar Blade, so some chances to earn some team-wide experience are definitely available.
That's right. They do have to completely, I don't know, that's a great way to fight back in. That's really what they should be focusing on, I think. Of course, the spacing already is so strong on the side of LG, and they don't need that many people to even be the one spacing. The mean look is good, but oh, we are are going to see the try attack, which is going to honestly make that mean look counter not as strong. Look at this. It's just going to be the duo of the Dodrio and the Comfey spacing aggressively as just two members of LG take out that first base break.
Yeah, great play there from Luminosity Gaming. They have now broken 2 goal zones. Curios is the one caught in the meat look, but with that Unite move, they are doing so much damage. So many critical hits coming in for Curios and company. We are going to be able to try to outlast a lot of that damage, but not quite enough. They retreat all the way back to base, and some huge dunks are going to be happening for LG as the scoreline climbs higher and higher.
Oh, this is looking like LG's game right now. They have taken every objective. They have taken a gigantic lead. Now, the real big question here is, can Time to Shine fight their way back in? We're only at the 5-minute, 40-second mark. There's plenty of time for them to get a lot of PXP back, and we've seen this, especially we were watching the CTV match earlier, the first match of the day. There is a great opportunity to make these comebacks if you can stay safe, maybe just get one really good pick on Overlord, seeing like maybe an overextension or something. That could be all you need.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, though, right? I mean, you have Elo giving them the support on that Comfey. If you get too close and you get Grass Knot, you are in a tough spot as well, which it's really cool to see these players in these offline environments choosing Grass Knot quite a bit. Really liking the feel of that move as of recently. Some good aggressive positioning from LG, taking over that halfway point of the map, making sure they have as much vision as possible. The Sludge Bomb, the Solar Beam combination is powerful, but they got to make sure they line it up perfectly as Dodrio finds a 1v1 knockout into the Venusaur. Great play from Overlord.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, you are not going to be able to get any mileage there. And on the backside as well, we saw Auk on the Leafeon try to get a pick on Inteleon, and it just wasn't quite there. So a lot of opportunities here. Time to Shine trying to take them, which is very commendable, but the strength of Luminosity's team right now is just so far ahead. Level 13 on the Dodrio, and almost everybody just levels ahead of their counterpart.
Yeah, and we talk so much about Overlord, we cannot leave Rin out of this conversation either. 12 on that Urshifu, and if you're watching closely to the minimap in these early games, that Blastoise was held down to level 6, level 7 for so long, thanks to that amazing top path presence of Rin on this Pokemon. So great shutdown in terms of defense and offense. LG really is finding a ways to win this game, and currently Rin is actually pushing towards the enemy's home goal zone to just score again.
Almost unnecessary at this point. Everybody else converging up in the top path, trying to get this Regieleki. At this point, it wouldn't even do all that much, I think, on the side of Time to Shine. They really do need to start fighting back for these points, but there we go. Big initiation, and once again, Venusaur going down, almost always the first one to go down. Leafeon as well. Fable following every single Pokemon up there going down. That's going to spread the lead to almost 400 points.
Luminosity Gaming has currently learned that if they win this game, they go to top 8, and have certainly found a new form in this tournament that we have not seen quite yet. They are beating one of EU's best, 428 to 30 right now. And like we said before, if Luminosity wins this game, they are going to be advancing to tomorrow's top 8 bracket.
They just got every single Pokemon that they wanted. This Regieleki is going to go in the favor of Time to Shine, but that's going to not go that far as trying to even this up. They should be able to get a little bit of an overdunk. They've actually going to be able to get a little bit more, and hey, they almost got that pick right there. That would have been big, but I don't even know how much of an overdunk they really got. They're still behind by just under 400 points. It's all going to come down to this Rayquaza. There's truly no other option for Time to Shine, and LG absolutely knows that.
And it's more than just an objective secure, right? At this point in time with a score line like this, you need to not only knock out that major objective, but you also need to wipe out the entire enemy team to take away any chance they have to score the other direction. Luminosity Gaming currently has an ironclad grip on this lead, and they actually knock out Shelvin as well. They are going to have a very short respawn timer, seeing as Luminosity Gaming has had such a great game so far, but they will be coming on the back foot for this final fight.
This is a Luminosity classic. They're so far forward in the enemy central area. They're making sure to cut off everybody before they even get a chance to regroup and try to fight their way back in this. Look, as Rin in a potential scoring position. Curios perfectly getting vision on Rayquaza, but here we go. All of Time to Shine trying to fight their way through. This is where the first initiation is really going to have to happen, and they're actually going to be able to try to take down Overlord, but can even the entire team of Time to Shine take them down? That combo is not looking stoppable right now. Still staying up, still the target of everything. That's 2 down, 4 down, 1 more to go. and that's going to be it. But coming all the way back to base, denying the Penta, that's going to be regardless array. That's going to be a game win, and that's going to be our first team qualifying for the finals bracket on day 2.
What an incredible showing from LG. From front to back in this final game with number 2, they have looked amazing. This Dodrio Comfey combination looking completely unstoppable, and then Rin really shutting down every comeback chance that Time to Shine had, in my opinion. What an amazing game. Slash's Trevenant, it literally looked un-KOable in that game as well.
Oh, yeah.
Every single team fight, it's coming away with just fractions of HP. Time to Shine putting on a pretty solid show in that game number 1, but let's face it, in game number 2, that was all LG.
It was. Look, this is a great, honestly, on a great near team wipe, but oh my gosh, they're actually coming back in and just continue the fight. I was going to say, even if they got a full team wipe on Luminosity at this point, I know we're calling this game like it's over, but that's because it is. If you had 100 AOS points in AOS energy in every single pocket of every single member of Time to Shine, and they all scored, you would still lose by 300 points.
Yep. The current reigning world champions are going to be moving on to the top 8 bracket yet again. Wow, it's pretty amazing to see our champions having a great performance yet again, and they're going to have a chance at a second title. Time to Shine going to be heading home. However, LG going to be moving on. What is he? Ring can't believe it. He's shocked they won.
Can we get a round of applause for our first qualified team? We're going to be seeing more of them tomorrow, fighting their way again to repeat their win, their victory at Worlds. But also a hand for Time to Shine, fought extremely well. A tough group to be in, but they represented their region very well. Same thing with SAUL Esports. I got to talk about them too.
I was just going to say, SAUL Esports putting on an amazing show, pushing Luminosity and Time to Shine to the edge of their seat in some final moments. Really incredible. But in the end, it's a Luminosity Gaming that stand on top of their group. Yet again, the champions pushing on. Shelvin there, unfortunately, having to play against this squad twice, 2 worlds in a row now. So if they both make it to year number 3, we know they're going to have to compete again.
Oh, yeah, that is just how it goes. But hey, you know what? Maybe third time's the charm. But regardless, great stuff to these teams. LG, you know, we got a chance to hear Overlord saying that as time goes on, they are going to get more and more comfortable in the tournament. And look at this graph. That is a show of comfort if I've ever seen one, especially considering how close the game number 1 was.
And just, you can see at how much of a championship caliber team Luminosity is and how they play those final moments. You have that big of a lead, a lot of teams are just going to shore up, they're going to play defense, they're going to play it safe. However, Luminosity Gaming instead takes the fight to the enemy in the enemy central area, and there we go. The damage number is looking clean. Rin in top of the lobby here with 128,000, and of course, Overlord again at 6 digits at 121.
Oh yeah, it's just a race between these two most of the time, and then Elo working overtime to try to keep them all up. I do have to point out one MVP to me as well was Kyrios. Kyrios, you know, we know is such a strong special attacker player, but being able to be on that Inteleon just makes them an extra dangerous threat on this team.
Absolutely. And I think they were maybe the best example we have seen of good Unite move usage on Inteleon so far in this tournament. A lot of people forget how great of an objective securing tool a Unite moving Inteleon is, as long as you hit that B button. So I really do think that they are going to be in a good position moving forward into tomorrow's bracket. And well, let's face it, that's what we got to talk about next. They are one of the few teams that has the privilege to be in day number 2 of our World Championships. A lot of people have them ranked extremely high, and well, Luminosity so far fulfilling those promises.
If they can keep on playing like this, it will absolutely be their tournament to lose. They just have, I mean, you know, they got everything that they wanted. That's the biggest thing here. I feel like this was a huge draft win for them. I feel like we can say it over and over, and a big reason why. Overlord, of course, we just heard from Overlord, MVP, player of the game on that Dodrio with the damage, with the scores, and most importantly, in my opinion, choosing that tri-attack in such a great opportunity to use it.
Yeah, it's hard to pick Drill Peck into Gravity as well, so that is pretty tough. But we do have an interview on stage with LG's own Rin. Take it away.
That's right. I am on stage with the one and only Rin from Luminosity Gaming. Incredible 2 rounds, Rin. I have to ask, it looked like against S8UL earlier, there was a little bit of a, I don't know, a slow start from you guys, but that felt like vintage Luminosity. What do you think changed?
So I think in that first game, we just kind of drafted something we hadn't really played before, thinking that would be good into the enemy, but we weren't really prepared to do it. So what we did was we just pivoted to things we practiced in scrims, and it ended up working out really well for us. I felt like the rest of those games were really solid.
I have to wonder, there's always a lot of talk about Overlord and how crazy he is and his crazy damage numbers. But wouldn't you say that's just because of Elo and maybe you carry a little bit harder?
Elo's 1v9, what can I say? Support's getting no love. It's messed up.
It really is messed up. As you look towards day 2 here, and as you look towards possibly being world champions again, what do you think your biggest hurdle is going to be?
Honestly, whoever makes it out of Group B is going to be an absolute challenge for us. There's 3 amazing teams in that group, and every single one of them can beat us extremely easily, so we have to be prepped for that.
All right, you heard it here first from Rin, who insisted we do this interview this way. I did not want this at all. I cannot wait to see you all on